welcome back to my channel. This is the first of a series of Criterion Reacts where I will talk about the Criterion Collection announcements for the upcoming months. So as you may know, around the 15th of each month, the Criterion Collection announces their upcoming releases. So this past October 15th, they announced their releases for January 2021. So that's the subject of this video. So in this series, I'm going to give you my sort of hot off the press impressions of these titles. In many cases, most of these titles are films that I haven't seen, and they're going to represent new discoveries for me. And in some cases, they are much anticipated Blu-ray upgrades or films that I've already seen that I'm looking forward to them releasing on Blu-ray. An example of that is recently the Criterion Collection released Do the Right Thing, the Spike Lee film from 1989. Been waiting a long time for that to get a proper Blu-ray upgrade, and they finally released it recently, so I was very excited to see that. So without further ado, let's dive into these January 2020 releases. So the first release for January is a film that is a Hulu documentary that is highly acclaimed critically. It was nominated, I believe, for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Film, and it's called Minding the Gap. And this is a film about skateboarding, basically, and following the lives of these skateboarding youth and their trials and tribulations and the challenges that they're going through in their lives, and how, I guess, they see skateboarding as being an escape from the reality going on in their lives. So definitely, I'm not sure if that's one, I'm not sure if that's one I'm gonna pick up, but it definitely looks like an intriguing title. That one is coming out on January the 12th, and there's some really good features here. It's got an audio commentary, it would appear, from the director. I always like seeing commentaries on these releases. That to me is one of the best supplements that you can put on a disc, is a really good commentary track, preferably including the director, and this one includes that. So on this commentary, you have the director, which is Lou, and Curie Johnson and Zach Mulligan, who are a couple of the subjects of the documentary. So this is an interesting title. By the time we get closer to January, I may consider picking it up. For now, I put it in the category of maybe, we'll see. So the next title that's being released on January the 19th is one that I find a little bit more interesting and a little bit more intriguing. And it's called Rolling Thunder Revue, a Bob Dylan story by Martin Scorsese. So Martin Scorsese directed this film. It takes place in 1975, and it's basically Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, and several others taking part in basically a spiritual pilgrimage, if you would, doing these folk concerts around the country. That's really the extent of what I know about it. For me, I'm very interested in this particular title because I sort of have an affinity for folk documentaries, such as Inside Llewyn Davis, Bob Dylan's Don't Look Back, and just several other folk type documentaries. And Criterion has a lot of excellent documentaries that cover that period from a music standpoint. And this is a film that I think fits right in that space. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Now, this one has a new 4K restoration, which that's great. It's approved by director Martin Scorsese. It's got new interviews with Scorsese. It's got some restored footage, never before seen Rolling Thunder Revue performances. So, you know, this looks like a pretty interesting title that I'm gonna look forward to checking out. So that comes out on the 19th of January. Okay, so the first title that's coming out for the month of January is actually the 3 films by Louis Bunuel. He was a French director. He created and directed films over a 4-decade period, ended in the 70s with these last 3 films. So the first film is The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, the second film is The Phantom of Liberty, and then the third film in this set is That Obscure Object of Desire. So these are, from what I read, fairly provocative type films, and they're the last films that this French director released. So that sounds kind of interesting. This is one that I probably will kind of wait to see what the reviews look like before I consider a purchase, but this is the first title that's coming out in 2021 from the Criterion Collection. All right, so the last title in January being released by Criterion is the film titled The Ascent. And this is a Soviet film. The director's name is Larissa Shepetko. And this film came out in 1977, I believe. And it won the Golden Bear at the 1977 Berlin Film Festival and was hailed as one of the finest works of late Soviet cinema. So this sounds like a pretty interesting film. So this is a film set in World War II in the backdrop of blizzard conditions in the area of Belarus. Sadly enough, this director, Miss Shepetko, died tragically in a car accident in 1979, and her husband did a tribute to her as part of a release of a film that came out subsequently. And he's featured on one of these special features here. This is a new 4K restoration of the film. You've got a commentary from film scholar Daniel Bird. You've got a video introduction by Anton Klimov, who is the son of Larissa Shepetko and filmmaker Ellen Klimov. A couple of documentaries from 2012 about Shepetko's life and her work and her relationship with her husband Ellen Klimov. So this definitely looks like a release that's got some good special features on it that tells you a lot about the film itself, but also the filmmaker and what she accomplished in her relatively short life. So that comes out on January the 26th. So there you have it. Those are the titles being released by the Criterion Collection in January, starting with the 3 films by Louis Bunuel. Comes out January the 5th. Minding the Gap, the skateboarding Hulu documentary, coming out January the 12th. You've got Rolling Thunder Revue, the Bob Dylan story by Martin Scorsese, coming out January the 19th. And then at the end of the month, you have the Soviet acclaimed film, The Ascent, by director Larissa Shepetko. That comes out on January the 26th. So 4 titles in January. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about these films? Have you guys seen any of them? I have not seen any of these films. So all of these would represent blind buys for me. Again, the only one that I'm really looking at as being one that I want to get right now is the Rolling Thunder film, the one with Bob Dylan, because of the folk music scene. I just sort of have an interest in that area. And like I said before, by the time we get closer to January, I might talk myself into picking up a couple of the other titles. So around the middle of November, around November 15th, Criterion should be announcing their February 2020 releases. And so I'll put out another video then, just giving my reactions to those titles. And so look for more on this channel for that. And if you like this content, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification so that you'll get notified when more content is being put out. But again, I appreciate your watching. Thanks for coming with me on this journey, and we'll see you